This is the hidden principle of the universe Thoth warned about. When the final vibration is activated, you must not chase it. You must do nothing. They won't tell you this in modern law of attraction videos. They won't whisper this in mainstream meditation circles. But in the forgotten scrolls said to be etched on crystal tablets beneath the sands of Saqqara, Thoth wrote, "The one who touches the fire of the divine must not blow on it. Let it burn. Let it spread." End quote. You see, most seekers believe that action is power, that they must do more, think more, visualize harder. But Thoth, the architect of frequencies, the bridge between form and formless, revealed the opposite. After activating a sacred vibration, the miracle does not arrive by force. It arrives through the vacuum created by stillness. Like the calm eye of the storm, like the center of the spiral galaxy, like the temple's silence after the final chant. Now stop. Experience this. Breathe in slowly through the nose. For 5 counts. Hold. Exhale gently, as if letting go of an entire lifetime of striving. Feel your inner field shift, not by effort, but by stillness. Now say quietly within you, "I command nothing. I allow everything." Do not repeat. Do not chant. Say it once, and mean it. This is where the vibrational current begins its work. And your only job is not to interrupt it. The ancients in Egypt believed that the miracle is a reaction, not a creation, a side effect of resonating at the right frequency even if just for a moment. That's why Thoth's final warning was not, "Do this every day." It was, "Once you activate, do nothing. Let the current find you." This is the paradox. Those who chase the miracle kill the frequency. Those who retreat into trust are the ones for whom the miracle chases back. Let me ask you something. Have you ever prayed for something deeply, desperately, and only when you finally gave up, it happened? That is not coincidence. That is vibrational surrender. That is the first principle of Thoth's final code, the law of energetic return. So before we go deeper, I'll say this. If you can't let go, if you must check the results, if you're still waiting with tension, then you're not ready. Because what you're about to unlock is real, and when you see it work, it will undo everything you thought you knew about control, effort, and manifestation. There is a sound that awakens your field, then vanishes into silence. This is the sound Thoth warned must only be used once, and then left alone. It's almost impossible to describe, because it's not a word, not even a tone you can replicate perfectly with the mouth. It is a frequency that dissolves the edges of your thoughts, a vibration that flickers in and out of the material realm. In the temples of Thoth, deep beneath Dendera, there were chambers not used for prayer or chant, but for echo. Priests and initiates would speak a single sacred syllable, and then wait, and wait, and wait, because the miracle didn't happen in the sound but in what followed. Ready to experience? Do this once. Find a quiet space. Place your left hand on your chest, right hand on your lower belly. Take one breath. Then, without thinking, let out the sound trull, like a whisper on an exhale, extending it until the air runs dry. Let the sound tremble through your chest. Let it echo through your bones. Then, silence. Close your lips. Do not repeat. Feel. Observe. Allow. That's it. This is the trap most seekers fall into. They feel a shift, and then they chase it, again and again. But Thoth's warning was clear. He who strikes the bell twice shall scatter the spirits that gathered at the first sound. In other words, the sacred current only obeys those who trust its return. Modern sound healers try to replicate this with crystal bowls, apps, even AI-generated frequencies. But without understanding the silence that must follow, they only stir noise. Now here's the secret no one speaks of. After the sacred sound, if done correctly, your energy field begins to pulse open, like the petals of a flower struck by moonlight. You may feel a tingling on the skin, especially the back of the neck, a deep stillness in the heart, a strange sense that someone is watching, not with eyes, but presence, a wave of old emotions rising, then fading. Let them come. Let them go. This is not the time to analyze. This is not the time to heal. This is the time to do nothing. Egyptians believed this phase was the moment of judgment, not by gods, but by your own energetic field. The sound triggers a reset. The silence lets your soul recalibrate. And if you break it, if you repeat the sound, or seek another technique, you collapse the field back into chaos. That's why Thoth said, "Make the sound, then vanish from your own mind." You are not the creator in this moment. You are the receiver. You are the temple. And the miracle is already on its way. This is not a mirror made of glass. It is the moment when your own consciousness turns inward and sees itself. And Thoth warned, gaze too long, and the self you cling to will dissolve. There's a reason most never reach this stage. Because to awaken the field and then do nothing is to witness the unfolding of reality without interference. And when reality begins to shift on its own, it exposes you. Have you ever had a moment so still, so silent, that it felt like you were being watched from within? As if something ancient, familiar, was looking back through your own eyes. This is the forbidden mirror. Not everyone sees it. Not everyone wants to. Because when it opens, it shows you the parts of yourself you buried under noise, dreams you abandoned, fears you normalized, timelines you never dared enter. Thoth wrote, "The eye sees inward, the eye sees truth, the eye sees who you were before you forgot you were divine." And this is where many fall into the mental trap. They try to correct what they see. They judge. They scramble to heal, fix, cleanse. But the final law is clear. After the field opens, do not fix, do not flee, witness, and stay. Now, do this, but only if you're ready. Find your reflection. It can be in a mirror or in a still surface water, glass, even darkness itself. Look into your eyes, not at your face, not at your appearance, into your eyes. Let your breath be soft. Let your gaze be steady. Now, say softly, in your mind, "I see the version of me that I left behind." Then say nothing else. Hold the gaze. 1 minute is enough. But you must not break eye contact, even if your body trembles or emotions rise. This is not a visualization. This is a ritual of remembrance. And here's the secret no one teaches. In this moment, if the energy has been awakened, your reflection may change. Not visibly, but energetically. You may sense the face looking back is older, or younger, or not entirely human. You may feel like you've met this version of yourself before, but in a dream or another lifetime. Do not chase the meaning. Thoth's last warning was precise. What you see is the echo of your own readiness. The mirror shows what your energy has summoned. To interfere is to interrupt. To stay present is to allow the miracle to find its form. The yogis of ancient India called this stage darshana, the vision of truth. Tibetan monks call it rigpa, the bare awareness. The Egyptians? They had no word for it. Only the symbol of an eye floating in an infinite spiral, a mirror that reflects without end. This is what you've touched. This is what opens when you activate the field, and then do nothing. And the longer you can stay inside this silence, the more the miracle becomes inevitable. This is the hardest truth. The miracle does not come when you beg for it. It does not arrive when you prove yourself. It emerges when you are still enough to become invisible to the noise of the world. The modern world fears stillness. We're trained to believe that if we are not chasing, producing, fixing, striving, we are dying. But Thoth taught something radical. He said, "The field reshapes not in the roar of intention, but in the quiet of surrender. And when it finally reshapes, the soul must not flinch." End. Because the miracle, the true shift, is not loud. It doesn't come with trumpets. It doesn't send you a text message. It moves, like smoke slipping beneath a sealed door, changing everything without warning. Let me tell you a story. I was in the Egyptian desert, under a night so still that even the wind refused to whisper. I had just finished a ritual, simple, ancient, subtle, and then nothing. Not a flash of light, not a gust of wind, just a deep, haunting silence. For 3 days, nothing changed. Then, on the 4th morning, my phone rang, a person I hadn't spoken to in a decade. They offered me the exact opportunity I had visualized years before, down to the city, the role, the timing. I hadn't said a word about it. I had let it go. I had done nothing. And yet the miracle had arrived, because the moment I stopped vibrating need and became a vessel for stillness, the field responded. This is what Thoth called the return wave. When you activate the sacred vibration and do nothing, you are not abandoning your desire. You are inviting it back as something new, reshaped, refined, chosen by the field itself. But here's where most fail. They wait in stillness, but with expectation. They watch the clock. They check the signs. They whisper, "Why hasn't it happened yet?" And in that very moment, they collapse the miracle. Because expectation is a tight frequency, it chokes the current. It converts receptivity into resistance. Now, your turn. After this video ends, I want you to do something strange. Sit. No music. No phone. No affirmations. No asking. No thanking. Just sit. Breathe. Feel. Let the vibration you activated do its work. Do not look for proof. Do not check in. This is not passive. This is power, the kind of power that terrifies your ego. You may feel uncomfortable. Your mind may scream, "Am I doing this right? Is this a waste of time?" Let those thoughts pass like clouds. You are not doing nothing. You are allowing the deepest intelligence in the cosmos to move through you uninterrupted. This is how stars are born. In vast silence, in invisible heat, in pressure you cannot measure until it erupts as light. Your miracle is the same. Thoth said, "He who waits in true stillness is already surrounded by the answer." This is the hidden force beneath all vibrational awakening. It coils in silence, and when it stirs, your entire life rearranges. But Thoth warned, "Do not command the serpent, invite it, then do nothing." They called it Uraeus in Egypt, the rising cobra on the forehead of the pharaoh. In India, they named it Kundalini, the coiled energy at the base of the spine. In Tibet, it is the Tummo fire, locked in the belly of the adept. But all traditions whisper the same secret. There is a living current inside you that, once awakened, cannot be reversed. And once it rises, your world will never be the same. But here's the mistake many make. They treat the serpent like a tool, a weapon, something to activate on command. They breathe harder, chant louder, visualize with desperation, and in doing so, they scare it back into slumber. Because the serpent does not respond to pressure. It responds to stillness, to trust, to a frequency so empty, so vast, it feels like coming home. Thoth wrote, "When the spine becomes a flute and the breath no longer belongs to the ego, the serpent begins to sing." Let's try something, but only if you feel ready. Sit with your spine tall. Close your eyes. Breathe in slowly through your nose. Exhale through your mouth like a gentle hiss. Sis, let it fade naturally. Now again, but slower. Sis. As you exhale, imagine a flicker of heat moving from your tailbone upward, just a spark, not a flame. Do this 3 times, no more. Then, sit, feel, do nothing. If you did this correctly, you may feel, a subtle warmth rising along your spine, a tingling between your shoulder blades or at the base of the neck, an urge to sway gently or move, resist it, or even an emotional release that feels like tears, laughter, or deep silence. Whatever arises, do nothing with it. You are not here to guide the serpent. You are here to witness its emergence. Thoth's final warning in this stage was, the awakened current must find its own way. To direct it is to destroy it. You are not the master of this force. You are its host, its temple, its sacred witness. And if you can allow it to rise without interference, even once your entire energy field will shift permanently. You may notice synchronicities increase. Dreams become vivid. People react to you differently. Old patterns dissolve without effort. This is not imagination. This is energetic truth, but only if you trust the silence that follows the spark. Thoth warned, before the light completes its circuit, the shadow must speak. And this is where most seekers run, because the miracle often arrives wearing the mask of chaos. Here's the truth no modern mystic wants to say out loud. When you activate the field, when the energy begins to stir, the shadow awakens too, not because you've done something wrong, but because the vibration must purge what cannot come with you. It's not punishment, it's preparation. In ancient Egypt, this phase was called passing through Duat, the underworld of the soul. In India, it is the Agora moment, where the practitioner must walk into their own fear. In Tibet, it is Cho, the ritual of feeding one's demons. And what they all understood was this: you do not manifest light by avoiding darkness. You manifest light by becoming still enough to let the darkness unravel itself. And Thoth's warning was brutal in its clarity. He who interrupts the unraveling returns to sleep. He who watches the unraveling becomes divine. Let's enter the gate gently. After your next period of silence, where you've done nothing, begin to observe your emotional field over the next 24 hours. You may notice asterisk, sudden anger or irritation, asterisk, old grief, resurfacing without trigger, people around you behaving strangely, even aggressively, asterisk, feelings of this isn't working or something is wrong. This is the shadow purge. It is the serpent shaking loose the last chains. But the trap is this: most people, at this exact moment, give up. They say the vibration didn't work. They try to fix it. They search for another technique, another teacher. And in doing so, they abandon the current before it finishes reshaping them. You must not interfere. You must not run. You must become the silent observer, standing at the threshold as old energy burns away. Like a forest fire clearing deadwood, the miracle needs room, and the shadow was taking up too much space. So it must rise. It must be seen. It must be released. Through your silence, not your struggle. Thoth wrote, "Before the field makes room for the gift, it will test the vessel. Only stillness passes." This is not a test of strength. It is a test of surrender. Can you let discomfort rise and do nothing? Can you let the ego scream and not answer? Can you trust the vibration enough to burn without trying to save yourself? Because if you can, the light that emerges on the other side is permanent. It is no longer a flash. It is the new shape of your being. Thoth's final law was never about wishing, visualizing, or asking. It was this: when the field is still and the self is dissolved, a new code enters. The miracle is not received, it is written into you. You've been told to attract your desires, to align with what you want, to visualize, to repeat affirmations, to work hard. But the ancients knew something different. They understood that your energy field is a code, and every thought, every emotion, every action is a line in that code. When the field is filled with noise, desires, fears, doubts, effort, the code becomes corrupted. And no matter how beautiful your vision is, it can't manifest through static. But when the field is cleared, when silence is allowed to settle, when you do nothing, a new pattern enters. Thoth called it the word beyond words. Oh, not a sound you speak, but a resonance that replaces the old script embedded in your bones. The ancient ritual of the new code. In Egypt, the scribes of the temple would wait in silence before writing sacred scrolls. They believed the glyphs were not made, they were received. They would bathe, fast, chant once, then sit for hours, doing nothing, until the pen moved on its own. This was not poetry. This was energy architecture. You are the same. You are now at the point where the old code is dissolving, and if you can remain still a little longer, the new code will rewrite your life without effort. But this part is crucial. You will not notice the code when it enters. It will not arrive like thunder. It will not announce itself. It will slip in like a whisper, and only days later, you'll notice, asterisk. The thoughts that used to haunt you are gone, asterisk. The emotional triggers no longer fire, asterisk. People start responding to you in new ways, asterisk. Opportunities arise that reflect a different you, and you'll realize you've changed, without intention, without obsession, without work, because the field did the work and the code entered on its own. Thoth's warning was simple. The one who notices the code too soon will interrupt its integration. In other words, don't look for it. Don't test it. Don't explain it to others. Let it take root in the soil of your being, and soon it will bloom as a new destiny. Do this now. Close your eyes. Let go of every desire. Let go of every question. Let go of every outcome. Breathe gently. Now, in silence, say to yourself, I accept the code. Say it once, then do nothing. Let the field respond. Let the miracle begin its rewrite. There is a moment in every spiritual transformation where return is no longer possible. Thoth called it the irreversible turning. Once the code rewrites your field, the old version of you cannot be accessed again. You need to understand something important. Most people don't fear change. They fear the permanence of change. That's why they start, but don't finish. They awaken, but go back to sleep. They glimpse the miracle, but never allow it to complete. Because to truly allow the vibration to rewrite your field means letting go of the self you've worn like armor. And once it's gone, it doesn't come back. In the scrolls beneath Karnak, scribes described the portal as a golden gate that opens when the silence deepens and slams shut when the miracle begins. It is symbolic, but also literal, energetically. The moment you receive the new code, the old vibrational patterns begin collapsing. You may feel a sense of confusion, as if you don't recognize your own thoughts. Sudden disinterest in things you used to obsess over. Relationships beginning to feel misaligned. A strange peace, interrupted by moments of mourning for who you used to be. This is not regression. This is the portal closing. And Thoth's last warning was this: do not look back, not even once, for the gate remembers who you were and will take you back if invited. Let this land. Right now, as you sit in this silence, you are on the edge of a new timeline, not metaphorically, literally. The version of you who chased, who needed, who begged, who doubted, that version is fading. And if you can resist the urge to run back to the familiar, the gate will lock behind you. And in that moment, the miracle will crystallize, not as magic, not as manifestation, but as the new normal. In ancient Tibet, this was known as trekcho, the severance of illusion, the final cutting of ties to karmic scripts, a vibrational death. And those who crossed the threshold were not seen as awakened, they were seen as reborn. Egyptians called them the ones who passed through the chamber of Ma'at, judged, rewritten, freed. You are walking that path now, but here is the final trap. Nostalgia. The desire to go back to what was safe, known, or predictable. That is the field testing your resolve. And if you pass this, the miracle becomes irreversible. Do this as a rite. Stand. Place both hands over your heart. Close your eyes. Say, the gate has closed. I do not look back. Then sit. Breathe. Feel. Let it be done. Thoth's most mysterious teaching was this: the miracle appears when the soul forgets the shape of desire, because only when the mind stops asking can the heart start receiving. This is the paradox no one wants to accept. You've done the practice. You've activated the vibration. You've faced the mirror. You've sat in silence. You've even accepted the code. And then, nothing. No fireworks. No signs. No lightning bolts from the sky. But listen carefully. This nothing is not emptiness. It is the final layer peeling away. It is the mind forgetting what it was trying to control. And when that happens, truly happens, the miracle appears. Not because you summoned it, because you forgot to chase it. The story of the hidden lotus. In Egyptian myth, there is a tale of a sacred lotus that only blooms when no one is watching. It is said to hold the memory of Ra's first light, the spark that birthed creation. Priests would sit by the hidden waters for years, not to see the bloom but to forget that they wanted it. And when the final priest gave up and closed his eyes, the lotus opened, the light returned, not to those who wanted it, but to those who became ready without wanting. This is your moment now. You may feel numb, you may feel peaceful, you may feel nothing. That is the space where the field finishes its work. But beware of this final trap. Seeking validation. The moment you ask, did it work? Why hasn't it appeared? Maybe I missed a step. You are dragging the vibration back down into the mind. You're calling the miracle back to the realm of effort, and miracles do not live there. Thoth's words again. The field arranges when the self vanishes, not dies, just vanishes. He didn't mean you lose yourself forever. He meant the part of you that needed to control the outcome. That part must forget. Because the miracle comes when you're brushing your teeth, when you're walking in silence, when you're laughing with no agenda, when you're no longer vibrating need, and suddenly, the call comes, the door opens, the thing arrives, and it will feel, not like magic, but like something that was always there, waiting for you to forget that you wanted it. Here's what to do now. Nothing. You read that right. Don't meditate. Don't ask. Don't visualize. Don't search. Just live. Return to the simplest things. Make tea. Go for a walk. Watch the sky. Do nothing not as laziness, but as sacred emptiness. This is it. The last breath of the ritual. The place where all vibrations collapse into stillness. Thoth's last warning was not a riddle. It was instruction. After this, do nothing. The miracle is already moving. End quote. You've come further than most ever will. You didn't just listen, you felt. You didn't just chant, you became silence. You didn't just chase transformation, you surrendered to it. And now, the field is alive. Moving, rearranging itself around you. Not with noise, but with gravitational intelligence. Like a galaxy rebalancing after a star is born. Like rivers shifting after a mountain rises. You may not see it yet, but the miracle is no longer on the way. It's already here. Let this be the final act. Do nothing. This is not a metaphor. This is not poetry. This is the vibrational requirement of completion. Do not test it. Do not rush it. Do not explain it. Let the vibration become your environment. Let the field seal around you like mist thickening into crystal. Let the miracle arrive in its own language. And it will. Thoth wrote in his final script, the one hidden, untranslated, known only through oral tradition. When the sacred engine begins its spin, any hand placed upon it will shatter the wheel. This is what do nothing means. It's not about apathy. It's about absolute trust. Trust that if the sound was made, if the silence was held, if the mirror was faced, if the code was accepted, if the portal closed, then the miracle is already sculpting itself in the invisible. And when it finally emerges, whether in a day, a week, or a flash of perfect timing, it will feel like a memory returning, not a gift arriving. Now close your eyes one last time. Breathe. Say, with new emotion, new effort, new drama, it is done. Then carry on. Live. The miracle doesn't need your attention now. It needs your absence, so it can take its final form. Comment now if you've felt the shift, if you've reached this final threshold, if you're ready to vanish into trust and let the miracle arrive in silence. Write in the comments. It is done. The miracle is already here. This is not just closure, it is ignition, because every confirmation joins the others in a resonant field, a network of awakened beings vibrating quietly, powerfully, beyond thought. Together, we hold the miracle in place. Together, we rise into a field where effort is no longer required. Final invitation. If this journey found you at the right moment, if something ancient stirred in your soul, if you remembered what silence feels like, then subscribe to this channel not for content, but to remain in resonance with those who walk this path. Like this video not for ego, but to pulse this signal further. Share this with one soul who is ready. Comment to seal your frequency into the collective. This is not a ritual of social media. This is an ancient, energetic rite, reborn in the digital age. Every act you take here is part of the field. We are remembering. We are vibrating. We are becoming the miracle. And now, do nothing. Watch what happens.